although it doesn't look like that, this is the old city of Jaffa. You can see the church on top of it, St. Peter Church, on top of the ancient town, the ancient city of Jaffa. And the train station is not so close to it, which is there. But the idea was to build it next to the port of Tel Aviv. You can see a little bit of the sea. Then why the Ottomans, who actually gave the permit to build the church, didn't build it next to the port? Mainly because that was the end of the empire. The Ottomans were weak, and they were afraid that enemies will use the train to conquer Israel. Israel was so important for the Ottomans, and mainly because of Jerusalem, religious reason, although they didn't actually care about Jerusalem. The second reason is the bridge between Africa, Asia, and Europe. To control the world, you need to control Israel as well. Then, in that case, they built a train kind of a 1 kilometer outside the city. And we're entering to the old train station, actually the first train station in the Middle East, except of in Egypt and I think in another place in the Middle East. And then this is one of the first train stations in the Middle East. And soon the sun won't be in your eyes, but all right, you can actually see it. The camera is good for it as well. Then in that case, welcome to the train station that looks like Europe, not like I don't know, an Arabic, Turkish train station. And that is true because the one who built it were the French at 1892. Then you can see the train station, and you can see the storage rooms. Let me go to the shade, and you will be able to see it in a better way. You can see the rails. Those rails are not from the Ottoman time, it's from the British time. It's different because of it's wider. The Ottoman ones, there's something like 1 meter wide. This is more than that. Then, train station, terminal is in front of you, and until 1892, there are two options to reach Jerusalem: was on top of a donkey or carriages, which were quite new, only let's say from 1870, or now the train. To walk or to use the carriages or donkeys, it was a little bit difficult, mainly because you've been robbed. You have to pay a lot of tax not to be robbed by the Arabs on the way, and the train actually solved everything. The only problem is no air condition, and it took you 4 hours to reach Jerusalem. 4 hours in a good day. It could be even more than that. Then, sorry, in that case, that was a train station. Now we know that the Ottomans didn't want to build the train station next to the port, but later on, let's say around 1900, some genius business guys decided to build their house and their factory here next to the train, and it will be easier to deliver it. Then in that case, this is the German family, the Winnand family, that built her house, and you can see that it made a lot of cement. And look at the roof, because they did it, and a lot of the places in Tel Aviv were built with it. That was the shop. Oh, then we looked at Washingtonia palm trees. And the factory of them was right there. Nice, isn't it? Let me make a run tour to show you a little bit of it. Look at the fig trees that at that time in Jaffa and Tel Aviv were very famous. Next to my house in King George Street, sounds British, isn't it? You can actually visit. You can actually see those trees. Look how amazing they are. Ficus tree here, sorry. Yeah, it is a ficus tree. That's a fig tree. Most of the places is dead now because it's Saturday, and I don't know, or maybe it's still not open. It will be open. It's not so kosher place. There's only 1 or 2 kosher places. Look how beautiful it is. And guess what? From next year, you will be able to use the light rail in Tel Aviv. It's strange to say, but we don't have a light rail until now. That's going to be one of the stations, and then that place will be busy. Look how beautiful it is from here. And let's make a run tour around it. We are in March 2022. The tourists are starting to arrive. It's very close to Passover, Easter, and Ramadan, which today we will serve together. In 1948, after the Ottomans' time and after the British time, we used that place as an army base. It's good and bad. The good thing is that we didn't destroy the buildings. The bad thing, it's an army base, army. Then you can see a little bit of what's left from the army. I don't know what they are going to keep, but as I know, it's going to be, it's a real estate area. Next time when you'll be, or maybe you might see some skyscrapers here. And let's show you what's happening with the train, what we did with the train station. With the trail rails. Then that's going to be the train station. You can actually see it. But we will walk a little bit through the east, through Jerusalem. And you will see the valley that will divide two neighborhoods. In a way, the German neighborhood to your right side, Templars, and part of Jaffa, and Neve Tzedek to the left, which was a poor Jewish neighborhood outside the walls of Jaffa. Poor or not, look at the houses now. Then it's a boulevard. Beneath us is the light rail. It's called the rail boulevard, and it's open 24 hours a day. It's beautiful. If you like to bike, there's a lot of bikes laying in Tel Aviv now. But what I want you to see in that park is not the excellent coffee of Roger Park, which is in part of another German house. I want you to see the rail from the Ottomans' time. Remember, it's never rare. Here it is. Then, this is the beginning of the story of the rail in Tel Aviv from 1892. There are so many other things to see here, but now I have to go back to get my Israeli tourist, and I will do that tour for you next time. Meanwhile, please subscribe my channel if you want to help me to maintain that YouTube channel. Then it's not a problem. Just enter to the description of that video, and via Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal, you can do that. Thank you very much. I will be more than happy to hear what you have to say about Tel Aviv and other places. Bye bye.